Good evening, councillors, staff and members of the public. I declare the Ordinary Council meeting of the 3rd of June 2021 open at 5:30 p.m. Please stand. I wish to acknowledge the Garrett people as the traditional custodians of the land on which we're meeting on and recognise their strength, resilience and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. I'd also would like to acknowledge Arnold Carter, Freeman of the town in the audience. Good evening, Arnold. Item 3, recording of attendance. This video and audio of this meeting is being recorded and live streamed to facilitate community participation for minute-taking purposes, which may be released upon request to third parties. In accordance with Section 616 of the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders Local Laws 2014, members of the public are not permitted to use any visual or audio electronic device or instrument to record the proceedings of any meeting unless that person has been given permission by the presiding member to do so. Members of the public are also reminded that in accordance with Section 617-4 of the Standing Orders, mobile phones must be switched off and not used during the meeting. Before we proceed with any further, I'd like to advise councillors and members of the public that have been advised given by the CEO that item 14.1, the 2021-22 rating strategy report, has been withdrawn to allow further consideration of the submissions received. This matter will be reported to the Ordinary Council meeting on the 30th of June. 3.1 attendance. I note that councillors are present. The attendance is listed under 3.1 of the minutes. I note that Councillor Kyu Ming is in transit and hoping he'll join us shortly. 3.2 attendance by telephone, entertainers communications. There is no councillors attending by telephone or using entertainers communications. 3.3 apologies. We have an apologies from Councillor Unkovic. Are there any others? No. There's none? Okay. 3.4 approved leave of absence. There is none. 3.5 disclosure of interest. Are there any disclosure of interest, councillors? No. No? Yes? Yes? Councillor Gillingham? Yes? I can read it now if you like.
Yes, Councillor Yang Gillingham. Thank you, apologies. Item 11.3.1, coastal foreshore proximity disclosure, and item 11.4.2, the seawalls works
proximity
disclosure, and also item 11.1.5, fees and charges as an impartiality for the Gratwick Hall regarding the hire for the week of the 6th and 12th of September, as I am the coordinator of the Pilbara Music Festival. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Okay. Item 4, applications for approval of leave of absence. CEO, do you have any requests for approval of leave of absence?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, we do. From Councillor Coles and Councillor Kyu Ming, both have formally written requesting leave of absence.
Okay, thank you, CEO. Can I please have a mover and a second on that, please? Councillor Gillingham, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Bartho. Is there anyone against this motion? As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously. Councillors, are there any other leave of absence requests?
Through the chair, Mr Mayor, I did send in an application for leave of absence from the 3rd of July until the 19th of July. I did put it in writing as an email, but I realise it may come out at the next meeting at the end of June. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just the period from July 2 through July 12.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor McDonough.
Thank you.
Can I have a mover and a seconder, please, for those? Thank you. Can I move Councillor Gillingham? Thank you. The seconder, Councillor Zulke, thank you. Is there any against this motion? No. As the motion is carried, I declare the motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Move to item number 5. Item number 5, response to previous questions. Response to previous questions taken on members of notice from members of the public and elected members at the Albury Council meeting held on the 28th of April 2021 are printed in the agenda. Written correspondence have been sent to each person who have asked the questions, and response to councillors have been sent via email. Item 6, public time. 6.1, public question time. I declare public question time open at 5:36 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions of council. Under section 6.7-3 of the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders, local law requires members of the public wishing to ask a question to complete a question or public statement form and place the completed form in the tray provided. These forms can be found outside council chambers and on the council website. If the presiding member determines that the questions and statements are out of order due to the use of offensive or objectionable expressions or defamatory, they will not be recorded nor responded to. Mr. CEO, have we received any questions at all?
No, Mr Mayor.
No? Okay, thank you. Do any members of the public wish to have any questions at all? Could you please come forward and state your name and address? Please remember to fill the public question form if you haven't already done so. Okay, there are none. I declare public question time closed at 6:37 p.m. Sorry, 5:37 p.m. Sorry. 6.2, public statement time. I declare public statement time open at 5:37 p.m. Do we have any public statements at all? Yes, Mr. Arnold Carter, could you please come forward and state your name and address? Please remember to fill the public statement form if you haven't already done so. Thank you.
My name is Arnold Carter, 47 Moore Street, Port Hedland. A statement I'd like to make is in regard to the Port Hedland Town Council rate issue. It is noted on the agenda of a special council meeting held on 11th of May 2021. The following notices were submitted to council, and minutes of the meeting confirmed the acceptance of a 2% increase with a projected total revenue of $55.111 million for the year 2021-2022, compared with the income of $53,418,000, which is an overall increase of $1.69 million, included an increase for the mining section of $1,225,000 for 2021, which was $49 million. With the sale price of iron ore, would it not be feasible that the proposed income of $1.692 million, which is the shortfall between your 201 and 202, debit to the mining and other rate receipts? When you take into consideration the rates paid in 220 included base rates totaling $67 million. Actual rate revenue for 2020 was $21 million. What was the interim payment of $11,131,000 for? The event that you repeat on the rate notices was the interim payment of $11 million. The proposal we suggest is that consideration be given to the reduction of expenditure even though we do not have a carry forward budget for 2021-22 for our consideration. I am aware it is not a big burden on the ratepayers. However, in some instances, it could be the starting point. You cannot do a judgment against rates payable, as this is determined by the value of the property. It is noted in your financial statements for March, you indicate an income of 55.663 million, which exceeds your present expenditure of 53 under your present budget. As directed by the state government, rates for 2021 were frozen due to the COVID-19 epidemic, which is far from over. The council received in rates $85 million, which I honestly consider the rate could be extended to another year. In other words, we're asking it for it to be paid. This cost is minimal, and the overall benefits to the ratepayers would be commendable and appreciated when you consider that $55 million is a very substantial rate contribution which you pay now. I have this suggestion for council to consider. Firstly, the mining industry could contribute the difference in the rate budget of $1.69 million, or alternatively, reduce the spending by the appropriate amount from the capital budget of an estimated $60 million. It is not a lot to request when you consider that the allocation of $6 million for a roof on a skate park, not much comparison. It is appreciated that it is not a large increase, however. There are many commercial and residential ratepayers are suffering the impact of the virus. When they see the council propose community hubs and the projected cost, $200 million, as published in the Northwest Times as on the 24th of March over the period of 6 years. What is the budget for 2021-2022? The reserve accounts cannot carry the load projected. When you remove the strategic amount from the marina, you have very little left, and conservatively your financial contribution is very minimal. A big concern that council and ratepayers must be aware of is the new valuations due to be adopted in July 2022-2023 period. Another concern is the consultancy costs. You recently allocated $60,000 carry over to the 2022 budget. As we have not seen a prepared budget for 2022, we cannot even estimate the financials, let alone council's income, to cover your proposed expenditure. Loans are not the answer. Remember your recent finalisation of all debt from the Port Hedland International Airport reserves. Your comments would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold. Thank you for your statement. These will be considered as part of the town's confirmation of the 2021-22 budget and rate strategy to be confirmed on the 30th of June. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any more public statement times? Yes, please go. Yes, please come forward and state your name and address, please. Yes.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. My name's Gordon Armstrong. I'm the Senior Sergeant in charge of the South Hedland Police Station, recently appointed 6 weeks ago. My statement is about youth crime and youth crime in the town of Port Hedland. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge Mr Mayor's work, Councillor's work in relation to this topic. We had a meeting last Tuesday. Unfortunately, since that meeting, we've had an incident in town where members of the public seem to want to take the crime issue into their own hands. And unfortunately, that's led to a particular person within town being charged with some serious offences. So the reason for me being here today is to ask for your assistance or maintain your assistance in this field and work with the police and the community to try and tackle their youth crime incidents.
Yeah. Great, thank you, Coach. Thank you. Do we have any more public statement? Yes, Chrissy, please come forward and state your name and address, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to thank the councillors, Peter and CEO. I'm Margaret Ramirez, 14 Smith Court, South Headland. I'm an Ingerbody, I'm a Pilbara person from Roban. I've lived in Headland for 53 years. My grandfather is Matt Dan. He is a Kimberley man from Beagle Bay, and my grandmother is Fitzroy Crossing, Nigana. So, first of all, I'd like to, I work with Pilbara Aboriginal Voice, the PAV short. I'm also on the Aboriginal Advisory Panel with Minister McGurk, and I'm also on the, well, it was Communities, Michelle Andrews, but it's changed now, so I'm also onto that council through PAV. I'd like to thank Peter and Carl and Tim Turner for coming to the top pub, or for the event that we had at the top pub for Danja Coolin workshop that we brought forward to the Pilbara. That was really good, just for walking together and making changes for our people. So thank you very much. So I also like to come to here to talk about the interagency that we as Pilbara Aboriginal Voice would like to work with the town of Port Hedland, as well as agencies in the town, to have better outcomes, because at the moment we're sadly seeing that the strong concerns over our youth and many other out of control issues and behaviours are now that's deteriorating, with vandalism, petty crime, violence, and common, you know, just certain issues with our youth, and it is a worry for us as well. I know the government system and funding agency combined up with a breakdown of Aboriginal families is failing our youth, so that's why Pilbara Aboriginal Voice is starting to step up. We are also proposing the, I was here last week about the youth, the co-design. We would really like to look at using that area for Pilbara Aboriginal Voice, Stepping Stone. So, and I thank you, Tim Turner, for inviting Pilbara Aboriginal Voice to come and speak tonight. Yeah, and we really would like to have this opportunity, because the vigilante, we already know in the street what's happening out there. How do we work together for outcomes that's better for our community? If we seen many years ago, and I don't want to talk about past, but if we seen our people work together, that's what I'd like to see now, is coming back together, because it is really scary with the outlets of drugs, alcohol, and the damage of our children. So, and our community, it is really scary for us as well, because they're not only, they're affecting our old people as well. So that's what I'd like to thank you all for hearing me. And we also try to work with the police as well at the moment. So thank you very much.
Good. Thank you for your statement. Thank you so much. Do you have any more public question times at all? Statements, sorry? No. Okay. I will declare public statement time closed at 5:58 p.m. Sorry, 5:48 p.m. Into relation to item 5, we also have responses to questions that were taken at a special council meeting. Yeah, I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to it. Sorry, that's okay. That's okay, sorry, yeah. That's okay, Maura, thank you. I'll repeat that again. We also received responses to questions that were asked at a special council meeting held on the 11th of May 2021. These responses were given and sent out via email and were published in the minutes of tonight's ordinary council meeting. 6.3. Petitions, deputations, presentations, submissions. There is none. unless otherwise. Yes, Moray. Could you please state your name and address for the reference, please? Thank you.
My name is Moray Blow. My address is 18 Anderson Street, Port Hedland, and I'm here tonight as owner and principal of Headland Fresh National. I would like to petition Council to prepare a response by this 18th of June to the consultation paper published by the federal government in last month on the reinsurance pool for cyclones and related flood damage in Northern Australia. Now, hopefully, everyone here is aware of this because it is something that is of critical importance to this town. All our infrastructure spending is going to be pointless unless we can, as you know, increase the population. And we are not going to be able to sustain a population going forward unless we address the issue of insurance premiums and what is going to come down the chute. And on the 4th of May, the Australian government announced that it intends to establish a reinsurance pool covering the risk of property damage caused by cyclones and cyclone-related flood damage. The pool would seek to improve the accessibility and affordability of insurance for households and small businesses in cyclone-prone areas, which are mainly located in Northern Australia. And I think they're putting $10 billion into this fund that is due to kick in the financial year 2022. But it's a very short period for submissions, and they close on the 18th of June. Now, in my experience in 15 years up here, I'm about the only person that is actually trying to get attention to the impost on this town, especially of the cost of strata insurance. And if going forward, a lot of the development that we're going to be doing is density, which will be strata, councillors actually have to be aware of the cost of this and actually the reluctance of the insurance companies to be involved in this town. At the moment, it is very difficult to get strata insurance for any development over 7 million. There is a reluctance to insure anything that is mixed-use residential, and there is a total avoidance of anything over 30 million. But remember, in this town, 30 million is not a lot of money, because by the time you get replacement cost plus demolition, most of these complexes, the bigger ones, are definitely up in that region. Now, what is of concern to me, and I cannot get an answer from anyone in federal government at the moment, or from Minister Melissa Price, on the statement that the Prime Minister made at this time when he stated, and I will read the media release on the 4th of May, and the Prime Minister said that the government is announcing a plan to specifically reduce insurance costs for strata properties by committing 40 million for the North Queensland Strata Titles Resilience Pilot Program to start in 2022. Now, that, by identifying North Queensland, that would lead me to the conclusion that it isn't going to involve the Pilbara. I cannot actually get an answer from the federal government or that, but that is why I'm going to table these documents tonight, so that the town of Port Hedland actually prepare a submission to point this out. Now, by way of background, and I'm absolutely astonished that no councillor, no one has ever called my office to ask the details behind this, because I've been banging on about this for many years now. We have managed over the last couple of years to reduce strata insurance quite significantly. But last year we spent 2.7 million in my office on premiums. Now, this media release from the Prime Minister says that it is noted that the average strata premium in North Queensland last year was $6,800, compared to the Australian average of 3,300. Now, you will be absolutely astonished and hopefully horrified to find out that our average is 45,000. So that is why I am tabling this tonight. We will be making a submission, and I will finish on the fact that the Prime Minister thanked personally the members of Parliament from Northern Queensland who have been fighting for this for years. And it is telling in the absence that there is no acknowledgement of any elected representative from any form of government in WA. And in my experience over the years, there has been very little attention paid to this. So that is why I am asking tonight for the town of Port Hedland to become aware of this document and to prepare a submission. And any information or facts that you actually need for your preparation, please feel free to give me a call. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Maureen. So that's a very important issue, and I'll take that as a petition of acceptance of your standing orders. I'll take that on notice as a statement, refer to the petition, and we'll take action on that for you. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Item 7. Questions from members without notice. Are there any questions from elected members? Yes, Councillor Gillingham.
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. Just 3 short questions there. Is there any update of the Red Bank Bridge regarding any expansion? I know a number of years ago this was in the pipeline. And also, there's been a lot of requests from the public for Red Bank to have a turning lane into the actual Red Bank as you go over the bridge and down the hill, and then Red Bank is on your right-hand side, the Salt is on your left. So I'm happy for you to have that taken on notice.
Yes, thank you.
But if we could have an answer, a lot of the public are interested in that. Thank you. Second question is there also any update on the Ocean Beach front in Dempster Street? It's a bit of a mothballed building, but you know, what's happening with Ocean Beach front, and after today's announcements on the radio, television, has the town of Port Hedland been approached over the last 24, 48 hours with regard to Ocean Beach front in Dempster Street becoming a future quarantine venue for people having to return back from overseas? And that's a bit of a question going around, and I'm happy for that to be taken on notice.
Yeah, I'll take that on notice for you, Councillor Gillingham.
Yeah, thank you. And my last one is, I was privileged to go to the Welcome to Hedland night on Friday. I did have a stall to represent our Pilbara Music Festival. I would like to say it was an amazing organisation what the town of Port Hedland did. It's the best run Welcome to Hedland night that I've actually seen in a long time. I'd like to add that congratulations to the security. It was a difficult night for them, and I know also police got involved with things as well, and I just want to say a big thank you to security and the police, but also a big thank you to all the staff that organised that evening. Look, it was just the highlight, and I just think it's going to grow, so it was just great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Do we have any more questions from Councillor Turner?
Thank you, Mayor. Certainly, I'd like to acknowledge also the efforts for the Welcome to Hedland night. I thought the police did an outstanding job. Town of Port Hedland did an outstanding job. And security were certainly challenged, and they also did a good job. I'd certainly like to acknowledge the OIC for South Hedland that has made himself available both last week and tonight to make a statement, and also Ms Ramirez from Pilbara Aboriginal Voice for both her attendance last week and tonight. So, in accordance with Standing Orders 5.4, I'd like to give notice of my intention to move a motion at council meeting on the 30th of June 2021 and request the CEO to prepare an officer report. See the attached on the screen. I would propose that the council acknowledge the continuing incidents of antisocial behaviour associated with youth, which are negatively impacting on the safety and well-being of the Hedland community, and which may heighten the potential for vigilantism. 2, follow up on the previous correspondence to the Premier and Minister for Police and the Regional Superintendent for Police to seek additional police resources for the Hedland community. 3, write to the relevant state and federal ministers with portfolios related to youth and safety to alert them of the severity of local issues and request their agency's support in creating targeted action plans to address these incidences. 4, consider joint or community-supported state and federal government grant funding applications to support local community safety initiatives. I'll just make a further comment to that. I have been meeting with a range of stakeholders, including the Aboriginal PBCs of Port Hedland, and they are very concerned and are committed to working with the town of Port Hedland on these issues. 5, continue to work with local community leaders to investigate and implement appropriate short, medium and long-term localised solutions to youth and community safety issues, including security night patrols. 6, commit to addressing Hedland's youth aspirations and future potential through the creation of a contemporary and inclusive youth strategy. 7, ensure that appropriate budget allocations are made in the FY21-22 budget and beyond to support actions included in the relevant youth plans and strategies. Thank you, Ben.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Turner. Notice of your motion has been received in accordance with Standing Orders 4.5, and the CEO will prepare a report so that the motion can be considered at the next Ordinary Council meeting on the 30th of June 2021. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Turner. Thank you. Is there no more questions from councillors at all? No, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item number 8. Item number 8, announcement by presiding member without discussion. The presiding member's meetings for the month of April 2021 can be found detailed within the agenda. Item 9, declarations from all members to have given due consideration to all matters contained in the business paper before the meeting. I invite all elected members to declare by a show of hands that they have given due consideration to all matters contained within the agenda. I have a show of hands, please. Thank you, councillors. Item 10, confirmation of a previous meeting. Members of the public are reminded not to take any action on council decisions on items on this evening's agenda, which they may have an interest in, until formally notified in writing by the town has been received. Decisions made at this meeting can be revoked in line with Local Government Act 1995. We have 2 recommendations before us. The first recommendation is to confirm that the minutes of the Ordinary Council meeting held on Wednesday the 28th of April 2021 are true and correct. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move Councillor McDonough. Thank you, Councillor McDonough. May I have a seconder, please?
Seconded.
Councillor Bartho. Thank you, Councillor Bartho. Is there any against this motion? No. As there's no opposed, I declare the motion is carried unanimously. The second recommendation is to confirm the minutes of the special council meeting held on Tuesday the 11th of May 2021 are true and a correct record. May I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mayor.
Move. Thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Will I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor McDonough. Is there anyone against the motion? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it's carried unanimously. We'll now move to item 11. Item 11, reports of officers. 11.1, corporate services. 11.1.1, 2021, delegation register review. We have an officer's recommendation that council adopts the Town of Port Hedland Director Register as per attachment 1. This vote requires an absolute majority. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Okay. Oh, Councillor McDonough, thank you, Councillor.
I'll second that,
Seconder,
Mr Mayor.
Councillor Gillingham, thank you. Is there anyone against this motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not proposed, I declare the motion is carried unanimously without any debate. (11.1.2) Sundry debtors write-off. We have an officer's recommendation that council pursuant to the section 612(1)(c) of the Local Government Act 1995 provides the write-off of bad debts to the value of $14,267.22. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move Councillor Bartho, thank you. May I have a seconder? Seconder, Councillor Silky, thank you, Councillor. Is there any against this motion? No. Is there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. (11.1.3) Corporate Business Plan Quarterly Performance Report. We have an officer's recommendation that council, in relation to the 2018-2022 Corporate Business Plan, receives and notes performance report for the period 1st of January to 31st of March 2021, quarter 3 FY21, as per attachment 1. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councillor McDonough, thank you, Councillor. May I have a seconder? Yes.
So moved.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Thank you. Is there anyone against the motion? Is there any questions? Thank you. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it's carried unanimously without debate. (11.1.4) Addition of landfill establishment reserve. There is before us an officer's recommendation to approve the establishment of a landfill establishment reserve account to fund and manage the long-term succession planning for an existing landfill facility and adopt and manage policy 2-019 financial reserve included as attachment 1. This vote requires an absolute majority. May I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mayor.
Councillor Zulke, thanks, Councillor. May I have a seconder, please?
Yep,
Councillor
seconded.
Turner, thank you, Councillor Turner. Is there any against the motion? Is there any questions?
Just a point of clarification, if I may, Mayor.
Yes.
How is the state of our rubbish area, how we're going with it at the moment? And I know that this is for the next parcel of land, but is we able to have from our director a quick update on how everything is going there?
You want to cancel that?
Through the chair. Through the chair, we've engaged a consultant to look at our closure plan for the landfill facility. At this stage, we're working on a lifespan of around about another 13 to 15 years. However, we're also looking at other options, including obviously the construction of the new community recycling centre to remove products from the waste stream, which would normally just be disposed of and recycled, reused, etc. So we're actually saving airspace, so we're hoping to get additional life out of the landfill. In addition to that, we're also in the coming year looking at identifying future landfill sites or potential landfill sites, because we know, based on other local authorities, the process to actually develop a new lined landfill site does take a significant amount of time and a significant amount of money. So the intent of this reserve is to both provide for funding for the closure of the existing facility, but also commence the operation at the new facility.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated.
Okay. Okay, any more questions? No, thank you. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously. To schedule as per attachment 1, inclusion in the 2021-22 budget. This vote requires an absolute majority. May I have a mover, please?
Could I just put in a impartiality for that item? Thank you.
Sir.
For the fees and charges costs for not-for-profit organisations. So I'd just like to say, with regards to this agenda item, 11.1.5, I disclose that I have an impartiality interest because of my association with the Pilbara Music Festival. As a consequence, there may be a perception that my impartiality on the matter may be affected. I declare that I will consider this matter on its merits and vote accordingly. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Okay, can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move. Thank you, Councillor McDonough. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yep, seconded.
Councillor Bartho, thank you. Is anyone against the motion? No. Is there any questions? No. Okay. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Recording. We have 3 officers' recommendations for this item. The first officer's recommendation is that Council endorse and review a policy 1-015, recording of council and committee meetings, and renames and adopts it as a policy 1-015, live stream. Turner, thank you, Councillor. Okay. Is anyone against the motion? No, thank you. Is there any questions? Thank you. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. The second officer's
This year come under a different name, and I was under the impression that it was always under the Hearts organisation, and just I don't know if any of our directors can clarify anything of that, or whether it's a name that was put forward, or whether it...
May I have a seconder?
Yes, I'll second that. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Thank you. Is anyone against the motion? Is there any questions?
I'd just like to make a statement to say that this is
the final adoption of the local planning policy precinct for public art. We have an officer's recommendation that Council adopts the local planning policy precinct for public art. As presented is attachment 1 for this item, that Council notes that the precinct for public art guidelines presented as attachment 2 and advertise adopt the local planning policy precinct for public art in accordance with the Planning and Development Local Planning Scheme Regulations 2015. May I have a mover, please?
Sorry, point of clarification, Mayor, it's percent for public art?
Percent, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you, Councillor Don.
Thank you.
Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
So moved. Councillor Zilke, thank you.
I'm happy to second that, Mr Mayor.
Second, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Is anyone against the motion? Any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare the motion is carried unanimously without debate. (11.3.3) Proposed Town of Port Hedland Dog Law 2021 and the process of the termination dog exercise area and conditions of use. We have two officers' recommendations for this item. The first officer's recommendation is that council commences the proposed of the proposed Town of Port Hedland Dog Law 2021, that council pursuant to section 3.123 of the Local Government Act 1995 gives local public notice to make the proposed Town of Port Hedland Dog Law 2021 as per attachment 1, and give the local public notice that it intends to formally define conditions and use for the use of management of dog exercise area as required under Local Law 2.2 of the Town of Port Hedland Public Places and Local Government Property Law, Local Law 2016. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Yep. Thank you, Councillor Donner. May I have a seconder?
I'm happy to second.
Seconder. Thank you, Councillor Bartholomew. Is any against the motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. The second officer's recommendation is that council gives local public notice that it intends to specify portions of land as dog exercise area as required under the section 31-3A of the Dog Act 1976 as listed in the agenda, provide no substantive objections are received at the conclusion of the public notice period, that council formally specifies these portions of land identified in point 1 as dog exercise area, that council gives local public notice that it intends to specify that a dog other than assisting dogs are prohibited in the areas as listed in the agenda as required under section 31(2)(b) of the Dog Act 1976. This vote requires an absolute majority. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move, Councillor Zulke, thank you. May I have a seconder? Councillor Turner, thank you, Councillor. Is anyone against the motion? Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. (11.3.4) Development Application Resource Recovery Centre, Lot 104, Oxwade in Wedgefield. We have an office recommendation that council grants development approval for DA 2021/077 for the development and use of a resource recovery centre at Lot 104 Oxide Way, Wedgefield, subject to all conditions listed in the agenda. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move, Councillor Zulke. Thank you, Councillor. Seconded, Councillor McDonough. Thank you. Is there any against this motion? Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. (11.4.1) 8/004 Community Leasing Policy. Yes, Councillor Gillingham.
Yes, thank you. I believe I may have to do a proximity declaration for 11.4.20 regarding the seawalls works because of the area of the Good Street in Cook Point. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, next item. That's okay. Thank you, Councillor. It's okay. We have an officer's recommendation that council adopts amends policy 8/004 community leasing and the proposed community and commercial facility maintenance schedule. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councillor McDonald, thank you. May I have a seconder? Councillor Zulke, thank you, Councillor. Is there anyone against the motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Yeah, okay. 11.4.2 Award of Tender RFT 2021/15 Specialised Turf Care Centre Services. Okay, Councillor Gillingham, would you like to?
It's the 11.4 point, see the seawalls, not the turf. My
Okay, that's all
numbers
right.
a little bit, very close to numbers.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Apologies.
That's okay, thank you. Councillors, the item 11.4.2 has been awarded of a tender. Do councillors discuss the matter behind closed doors? No. Okay, we'll continue on. There is an officer's recommendation for council in regard to tender 2021/15 Specialised Turf Care Services to accept the tender submitted for a period of 3 years from commencing from the 1st of July 2021 with 2 by 1 year extension options in accordance with the points as listed in the agenda. That council authorises the Chief Executive Officer to sign the form of contract appointing this tender as the contract for the tender 2021/15, together with any variance, amendments or discharge therefore, and that council authorises the Chief Executive Officer to approve or reject all contract extensions options for this tender. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move, Councillor Zulke, thank you. May I have a seconder?
I'll second that. Mr.
Seconder,
Mayor.
thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Is anyone against this motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion was not opposed, I declare authorised. I declare unanimous without debate. Councillors have accepted the tender submitted by Turf Firm Facilities Management, with all details to be published in the council's minutes. (11.4.3) Award of Tender RFT 2021/22 Port Hedland Seawalls Construction.
Yes, just through the chair.
Yes.
I may have a proximity to declare as the seawalls that will be going in at the Good Street area in Cook Point. I can be stand corrected on that if I need to be, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Yes. Are you declaring a proximity?
I think it's best I do, thank you. With regard to agenda item 11.4.3, award tender of the construction of the Port Hedland Seawalls construction. I describe that I may have a proximity interest because of my closeness to where I live in Cook Point regarding the Good Street works. As a consequence, there may be a perception that my proximity on the matter may be affected. I declare that I will consider this matter on its merits and vote accordingly.
Okay, thank you. You have to leave the room. Thank you. Thank you. There is an officer's recommendation for council to accept the tender submitted in accordance with tender RFT 2021/22 Port Hedland Seawalls Construction for a set price. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Turner. Oh, sorry, Councillor Donna. May I have a seconder?
Yes, I'll second.
Seconder. Thank you, Councillor Bartho. Is there any against the motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Come back in now. Yep. Thank you, Councillor Gillingham.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, for the chair.
Okay. Council has accepted the tender submitted by WA Limestone Contracting Proprietary Limited in accordance with tender RFT 2021/22 Port Hedland Seawalls construction for the total amount of $13,883,109.02, excluding GST. And these details will be published in the Council's minutes. Item 11.4.4, award of tender RFT 2021/18, supply irrigation consumables. Councillors, item 11.4.4, this award of tender. Do councillors wish to discuss the matter behind closed doors? No? Okay, we'll continue on. There is offers a recommendation for council in regard to tender 2021/18 supply irrigation consumables to accept the tender submitted for a period of 3 years commencing from the 1st of June 2021 in accordance with the points listed in the agenda, that council authorise the Chief Executive Officer to sign the form of contract appointing this tender as the contractor for the tender 2021/18, together with any variance, amendments or discharge therefore, that council authorises the Chief Executive Officer to approve or reject all contracts, extensions, options on this tender. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move, Councillor McDonough, thank you.
Second the motion, through the chair.
Second, great,
Thank
thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Is there any against the motion? No. Is there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Council has accepted the tender submitted by Nutrient Water with all detail to be published in the Council's minutes. (11.5) Executive Services. 11.5.1 Port Hedland Visitor Centre Quarter Review, Quarter 3 January to March 2021. We have an officer's recommendation that Council receive the quarter report from the Port Hedland Seafarer Centre Inc. for the management of the Port Hedland Visitor Centre for the third quarter January-March 2021. May I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Move, Councillor Zuki, thank you. May I have a seconder?
Yes, I'll second.
Great, thank you, Councillor Bartho. Is there anyone against the motion? No. Is there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. 11.5.2 Review and Amendment of Policy 1-025 Media and Communications. We have an officer's recommendation that Council adopts and reserves Media Communications Policy 1/025 as per Attachment 1. Can I have a mover, please? Yes, Councillor Turner, thank you. I have a seconder.
I'll second that.
Great, thank you, Councillor McDonough. Anyone against this motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Item 12, reports of communities. 12.1, Audit Risk Compliance Committee meetings minutes 10 March 2021 and May 11, 2021. We have an officer's recommendation that Council endorse confirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Compliance Committee held on March the 10th, 2021. Notes the unconfirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk and Compliance Committee held on the 11th of May 2021, and that Council notes the 2021 Audit and Planning Moratorium has adopted ARC 202021/157. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Moved, Councillor McDonough, thank you. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, I'll second.
Great, thank you, Bartho, thank you very much. Is there any against the motion? No. Are there any questions? No. As the motion is not opposed, I declare it carried unanimously without debate. Item 13, motion which previous notice has been given. There is no notes of a motion. Item 14, nature of a new business for urgent nature, late items. Which has been withdrawn. There you go, yes. Item 15, matters of which a meeting may be closed, confidential matters. There is no matters for will be closed for council. Item 16, closure. 16.1, the date of the next meeting. That brings us to the end of the meeting. The next ordinary council meeting will be held on Wednesday the 3rd of June 2021, commencing at 5:30 p.m. 16.2, closure. Being there no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 6:44 p.m. I thank councillors, members of the public, CEO and his staff for attendance this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.